Hey everybody, welcome back live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive from our Newburyport studios here. We got ourselves another music show. You all know how much I love that. Our guest today is a return guest out of New Hampshire, Dan Fallon.
Lips taste like whiskey and I can smell the beer. Smiles up at the stars saying, look how close they be. Oh, you should let them light your way back home, girl. It's what you should do. 'Cause I know somewhere out there there's a porch light waiting for you. Gotta tell her goodbye, gotta tell her goodnight. I'm a good man, don't always do right. This nighttime love, it ain't waiting for you in the morning. Well, it's cold like steel, the devil's deal. Might be wrong, but that ain't how it feels. Nighttime love comes round once and leaves with no warning. Better put this flame out right now, it will burn us both, girl. In a few more minutes we'll be gone so far we ain't going home, no. Well, I'd like to leave here with a little bit left of what's in there of my soul still being. Ah, hell, you can have it, just to do with me what you will now. I gotta tell her goodbye, gotta tell her goodnight. Oh, she's a good girl that don't always do right. Nighttime love, it ain't waiting for you in the morning. Well, it's cold like steel, the devil's deal. Might be wrong, but that ain't how it feels. Nighttime love, it only comes round once and leaves with no warning. No, no. Well, I'm miles away now, and the moment is gone. Memories of your love, they linger on. And I wonder, just what would you do if I turned this car right around and went back to your town to see you? But I look at the sunrise and I just keep driving on. Gotta tell her goodnight, gotta tell her goodbye. Ghetto good people don't always do right. It's nighttime love, it ain't waiting around for no one come the morning. Like steel, this devil's deal. Oh, yeah, it's wrong, but that ain't how it feels. Nighttime love only comes round once and leaves with no warning. Yeah, leaves with no warning. Woo! Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Dan Fallon in the house. Nicely done. All right. That one of the new ones right there?
I wrote that last night.
Hang on. I gotta show this.
That's just notes to
these
myself.
These are notes. I love the scratch pad notes of musicians and the lyrics.
Yeah,
it all came together last night.
Yeah, I was thinking I gotta write something cool for Drew. I want to come up with two of them. That one is 100% fresh.
Okay.
And the other one was kind of stewing around there for a little while.
Gotcha.
It's like we're gonna knock this out.
It's funny. I know you said I wasn't sure that was one of them, but you said you had written some songs, and I was like, as I'm listening to it, I was like, that's got a very raw feel. I bet that in a good way.
Yeah.
I bet that it feels that way for a reason, probably.
Yeah, that's the way. Like, I've been really liking the rawness.
Yeah.
Like, I wound up doing like a lot more produced stuff for a little while, and then and then I don't know what happened. Something just switched. I was like, I like to put out the live versions on Spotify.
Yeah.
It's full of mistakes and
yeah.
I really, it's like much closer to the thing that
Yep.
that the memory or
There's no doubt there's such a thing as overproduced.
yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
It ruins. Some of my favorite artists of all time have had good songs that I still like live. But if you go back to the album stuff, it's like the album didn't capture it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it doesn't do what
Yeah.
it does live. So yeah, it's interesting.
And then some of those albums that just capture it, you're like, you did that in 2 days?
Yeah.
It's like amazing, you know.
Yeah.
You just accept it and just get over yourself.
Right. Yeah. It's funny. I tell this story a lot on this show, but there's a Neil Young story about how I think he was on Howard Stern, and they were asking him, you know, oh, you play that? You didn't realize that was you playing the solo there on that? And he goes, yeah, I do that, but you should, you know, he was talking about maybe David Crosby or whoever, but you should hear him sing or play on that. And he goes, you should have heard the first version. And Stern goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, you know, we ended up doing like 20 takes on it, and I don't think we ever got it to the way when we first played it that first time we went in the studio together. And like so Neil is very much like that, I guess. Neil Young's one of his things is like he goes in and he likes to just kind of quick in the studio, play it how it sounds is how it is, and get out, because he thinks if you sit there and start doing it, it messes with him a little bit. So
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah, you're just gonna lay it down and trust that what it is what's supposed to come out.
Yeah. I know, it's funny. It's like, yeah, we never got back to that first take after all the dozen plus times we did it. But
there's something about that with music, though, too, just in general. Like, it's very easily, like, I found myself to be very, like, easily influenced to do other kinds of music, for example.
Right.
But over the years, it something, your intuition or something, or whatever it is, you know, it guides you back to, like, the simplicity of, like, of something. It just, like, pulls you back.
Yeah.
You know, and
well, in this world, you can do so many things too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every time I go out and see somebody live, and you know, I honestly have no problem with this. Sometimes I feel like I'm getting on this a little bit too much, and maybe even you use it. I'm not sure, but like everybody seems to have the loop station.
Yeah.
And like, you know, it's still, and that's especially good if you're playing for like 5 hours. I get it. Like you can kind of give yourself a break and all that. That's a tough grind, but like some people I think can be a little over reliant on that.
Yeah.
And you know, just that sort of thing can be like a little much. But really, just like the natural thing is like people like to go out and hear a solo guy with a guitar and his voice, you know, there's some simplistic measure to that. It's great.
I've found like the connection with the audience is those moments where it's like, I guess I'm not a big fan of looping.
Yeah. I guess I'm not either when it comes down to it.
Yeah. It makes me feel, it has like a hypnotic effect.
Yeah. Some guys are great at it too.
Actually one guy, there's been some, I could name a few that have just literally blown my mind.
Yeah.
And I'm very efficient at it if I need to use it, but I don't know, I just like to keep challenging myself, and so when I've been playing solo, I've been using a cajon pedal. Oh, okay. And I'll play the pedal and I'll play the solo over the cajon pedal. It doesn't have that huge backing solo, but it helps like a little bit to add so people don't, because it sounds really weird when you drop out. Yeah. And you're like, so I keep hitting that pedal, and at least people are still stomping, and you know, it's weird.
Well, you're probably like me in this, right? When you watch an artist, you want to like see that artist like in the moment and almost like lose themselves. You don't necessarily want them thinking about like, you know, a double tap to pedal here, stop that, because like when you see the thinking and stuff, you're kind of distracted by that. Yeah. Where, you know,
that might be the thing too, because you see so much music and you're a musician too. Like that's because of the same. Like sometimes I'm watching what they're doing so intently. Yes. And even if they're the master of it, I'm like, oh God, I couldn't enjoy this.
Yeah, I was like, I'm stressed for you almost, you know?
And then the other folks, like I saw a guy do Wonderwall, the forbidden fruit of things, and he just layered it. I can't remember his name. It was at Luna Bistro in Salem. He killed it. I was like, what? I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. And but still though, I was having a tough time just relaxing because of that. I was excited for him, but I was still having a
We
tough
might
time.
be in the minority of that just because we're around it so much. I bet it's probably true that if you're not only going out to see music here and there, you're probably like blown away by those things, and I am blown away by a lot of them, but you're right, I get like anxiety. Thank you, Maeve. Producer Maeve today putting the show together. She's the best. Maeve
She's
Power.
Awesome. What a great crew over here. everyone.
Oh, that's sweet of you to say.
Thank you very much. No, they're just so great.
I told her, I was like, you can run in anytime if we have notes to share or anything. Like, it's a very free-flowing atmosphere.
Yeah.
Good time, actually. I'll say it right now. Maeve Power editing today. The Lee Cusack doing the tech directing. They're actually working on the show right now. We also got Madeline Clement in there, Amelia Snyder. That's our small but mighty team, as I always call them here in Newburyport. I definitely don't shout out to them enough because they do all the hard work. So thank you guys, as I get to talk to people and listen to music.
Yeah.
Tough gig.
Yeah.
But
it's all about. They really are wonderful, though. They were so welcoming, and they got me all situated very quickly.
Yeah.
And let me know what's going on.
Sometimes my guest beats me here. Yeah. And by the time I get here, they're all ready to go.
That's what happened. That's what I was here a little, and they took care of me.
That's beautiful. So they're great. Thank you,
really
team.
are. Yeah.
So we covered the loop station. So I don't want to come off as a loop hater. Me
neither too. I still have it and I use it every now and then, but I'm not a loop hater either. Plus, I respect the people that have do it. But I got to tell you the truth, Drew. Like, I just love living on the edge too. And it can be it's fine. I mean, I'm doing well, like connecting with people because I'm just keeping it as real as possible. But sometimes, if you really like, sometimes the venues, I'm not sure that they're crazy.
So you can go too real.
Yes, sir. And I wish I could tell you more, but maybe offline I will. There's a couple of really real moments. I was like, wow. So
man. Yeah. I would like to hear those.
Well, I'll tell you one, actually. It's funny. I got some feedback about this one. Somebody requested, that when somebody will request a song, I'll usually give it a shot if I kind of know it.
Yeah.
And somebody had requested Fast Car. Okay.
Tracy Chapman.
Yes, sir. Yeah. And I had been avoiding that one for a long time.
Sure.
2 minutes in, I start bawling. Like, I got I was like, my life, I'm so lucky. And I was like, so I had to stop. Yeah. And I don't know why I couldn't be professional at that. It's sometimes it just catches you.
Can't control it. Sometimes.
Seriously, honestly, you just. And when I'm playing other people's music, I've got a set of music that I feel like I just love every single song. Yeah. Like even ones like that you might have heard a million times, and I close my eyes and I picture it like a movie. Yeah. So I'm in it, man. Yeah, no doubt. I'm in it all the way. So I try to keep it happy, but it doesn't. Listen to my stuff. I was like, I'm writing my own stuff. I'm like, I don't want to make anybody really depressed, but it's like,
well, that's happened, man. You know me. I'm not a professional, but I can play a little bit, and I've done I've been caught off guard before, like playing stuff that just I knew the song way back and maybe forgot some of the lyrics or whatever, and that's just something that connects with you at a certain moment, and you're just kind of going through it. And there's been times where there's people there, and I'm like, ooh, I don't think I can get through that one at this time in my life.
Thank you for understanding. It's the truth. Brown Eyed Girl just hit me recently.
Really?
And I was like, I was totally getting into it, and I don't know, it just slayed me the last verse.
Probably something you played a million times throughout
I can't even tell you how many times, and I love to play it. People love it. Yeah. But and that was actually like a funny one because I was playing with the full band. And usually it doesn't hit me that way, but I was in the zone,
Yeah.
Like, what a great Van Morris.
Oh my God, he's one of my favorites.
Isn't he?
I mean, I wish he was a little more, I guess accessible is the word, because he's not like a guy you can go see on tour. And when you do, I hear he doesn't really like touring and performing, so it can be kind of tough. Yeah. I remember my uncle saying I had never been to a show that actually started on time. 6:30 start was like 6:29 or whatever when he saw him, and he goes, he was off. I think he was supposed to play till 8, and he was off at 7:59. I think there's like some, I don't know if it's anxiety or whatever, but I don't think he genuinely enjoys playing. Yeah. I think he's more of a recording guy at this time of his career.
That might be a good thing. A lot of my gigs go into massive overtime, so I'm super lucky though. Somebody was asking me because I had a 3-hour gig and it went to 5 hours.
It's a long day.
Place to at Foster's in Alton Bay. These are like little notes that I wrote myself. I got to remember to tell you because that was the July 3rd.
Oh, good stories,
yeah, good stories. Yeah. Full on rock show, man. It's just me and the guitar. Full on rock show. Oh, nice. And people just into it. That's a party all the time.
Alton Bay, is that like Winnipesaukee?
Yes,
it is. Okay, yeah.
And it's a super fun place, and that is one of those venues that is just awesome. and it was the July 3rd, so I'm playing all the way to the fireworks, playing,
Nice.
I whipped out the electric to play, Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
The fireworks went on for like a half hour, so I got to like America the Beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
I think I was even doing like This Land Is Your Land on the electric too.
Nice.
I went beyond the Hendrix there.
Beautiful.
It was so fun. Yeah. That happens a lot though, actually. It really does. Yeah.
That's did you get a weather break on the 3rd? I can't remember.
Yes. Yeah. So it was
Rough stretch, man, around the 4th of July. Horrendous, right?
It was rough. One of the venues during Bike Week, the nicest people I'd ever met in my life. And they had this awesome stage set up outdoors, and it basically a monsoon hit, like in a tornado at the same time. It was just a terrible week, and everybody's tents were getting blown away, and for like 15 minutes, it was literally the rapture descended upon us.
Oh my goodness!
It was amazing. Yeah,
so we were rained. I was up in Maine, like near Pleasant Mountain, Bridgeton, Denmark, and it just rained the whole time. Like no lake stuff. Like that's rough when dogs and a lot of people packed in the house just looking at the lake. Yeah. That's always a tough thing. One 4th of July, I think it was 6 years ago. I think I just saw on my phone. But the Facebook memories pop up.
Yes.
And I remember we were all in the house. Everybody just got there to start 4th of July weekend. The sun had been out, but there was a storm coming in. And my sister, who's like really into the meteorology and loves the weather apps and watches radar, she's like really good at that all. She goes, guys, like I think there like could be a tornado here. Like just kind of, and I'm thinking she's being dramatic, just making my mom scared and all that stuff, and like aunts are talking. She's like, no, I'm serious. Like it's like really bad things. And 3-4 tornadoes came ripping through.
That's the craziest.
Took out houses, like cabins that we had. Like it was so scary.
Actually, whoa!
It
like
ripped through
legitimately large ones.
the boathouse, like right through the boathouse, destroyed, like crazy.
And that's
I know.
Wild. She must have been like, see,
I know.
told you.
I never challenged my sister Caroline. I will never challenge you on another weather app prediction ever
that
again.
rule. I have 6 sisters, and we don't mess around with them either. So
I mean, in my defense, when somebody says there could be tornadoes coming through Maine, it's not something. This isn't Kansas. It's not something I hear all the time.
It doesn't exactly pop up on the regular. So
That's too funny.
That was on the 4th. Actually, I had I play on Portsmouth every Thursday at
music
Rio
city.
Cantina.
Oh yeah, I've seen you posting about that. Is that a good spot?
Oh, I love it. The food's awesome. It goes from like a dinner crowd where I'm playing kind of chill at 5 to 6 to like an after dinner crowd where people are singing along, and you could have it could be a full blown party, but the food is amazing there too. That's the other thing.
It looks like a cool spot. I'll come check you out there one of those days.
Fun
I love I'll make any excuse to go to Portsmouth.
I gotta check out the Portsmouth is fun though.
It is fun.
I really love it. Yeah.
I love that. I wish I've said this on this show before. Nobody's yelled at me for saying it yet, so I'll continue to say it. I wish Newburyport had a little bit more Portsmouth in it. We don't all have to be Portsmouth, but just a little bit more. Always an option for live music at like so many venues.
So many. It just like even just that day when I was looking online, because I was trying to let people know, just blast that I was playing on the 4th, because there were a bunch of people playing. I was like, wow, this is amazing. You
can play and then go watch somebody.
Yeah, exactly. That has happened too. So that's what's fun. If I can, bring myself away from the mic, so if people are having a lot of fun. But then it went up in Maine. I just played at Huot's Seafood in Saco, Maine, and it was another one where the weather held off, and it's like a destination restaurant. It's awesome. It's really, I didn't expect it at all. I'm like driving down these winding roads to get to the area where it is like near the beach and everything. Yeah. And I pull up there and there's this gorgeous restaurant and totally packed. Everybody's having a good time. It was another one of these.
It's a good feeling, right, when you show up that?
Really. And I was like, oh wow, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Refreshing.
I just had no idea what I was getting into, and then it was just, that's been a really cool thing with a lot of the gigs. The guy John MacArthur from the New Hampshire Music Collective, he's basically created like a music scene up where I live up there, and just gotten people like full-time employment for doing gigs. He's an amazing guy. He's helped me a lot, but he places me in all these places that he knows it's going to be a good fit.
Right.
And I trust him like so implicitly. And it's just, he's batting like 1,000. It's amazing. You know,
Wow.
he just does such a great job.
It's a good guy to have around.
Yeah, really. Sometimes, you know, maybe they don't want the party guy, or maybe they
Sure.
want something more relaxed. And
Yep.
but beer, actually, Beans and Greens up in Guilford. Oh, so if you go up tonight, you might want to, you should swing by. It's so cool, man. It's right next to the pavilion.
Beans and Greens.
Yeah, Beans and Greens. It's like a farm, and it's an awesome place to go. Like I live up there, so I've been banging over there a lot. But they made a beer garden.
Oh, okay.
Full on concert venue, like awesome.
Love that idea.
And I got to play there one of the first nights they opened, and it was just awesome. It was like it was not like background kind of thing at all. It was like people singing, and it was really, really cool. Yeah, and they have.
I'll make a note.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I'll send you.
Oh,
I'll send you everything.
Yeah. Send me everything.
But that might be really fun, and they have like really great brews on tap too. But
Gotcha.
you should go by there. Definitely should. Yeah.
You gave it away. Concert night for me in Guilford, New Hampshire tonight. So I'm getting the New Hampshire
I'm
landscape.
gonna try to catch up to you. If I can buy a ticket.
There you go.
We'll see what happens.
Speaking of a good ticket, go check out this guy, Dan Fallon. He's playing all around, and you're gonna play another one for us right now.
Sure. Yeah.
You want to intro it or just go? Your call.
I will just go. Actually, this one I gotta grab my banjo.
Oh, a banjo! I didn't even notice. See, this is Maeve. Maeve did all this work. I didn't even know you brought in a banjo.
Got me ready. So,
Maeve getting everybody ready.
I put this one. This is one of the live recordings that I just put up on Spotify.
Okay.
And I do like try to get people to listen to it. So, you know, I try as best I can, but it wound up getting like more play than the other ones.
Oh, all right, cool.
But it was one of my favorite songs, and I just had to I recorded it, and I was like, yeah, I'll record that one day, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna publish it like this because I just want to keep it as real as possible, you know.
Perfect. All right, Dan Fallon live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Sorry about that. Is it okay if I have to?
Please, yeah.
This
is how you do it.
Real. They don't like heat.
Is that? Oh, really? You noticed it, huh? See, it was a hot day out there.
So they're adjusting to the nice temperature.
Yeah. My first guitar I ever had actually ruined, well, not ruined, but messed up pretty good because of heat. The thing slipped right off. Literally bent up. Heat pulled it right off.
Done that a couple times.
I've only done it once, luckily.
You learn.
I just ripped it off. I still have the same guitar.
Oh, really? Oh, that's good.
Still, yeah. It didn't affect it really, but I love that guitar.
That's what it is. I get some busted ones. They're my favorites.
Let's be honest. Sometimes those are the best.
I think so. They got the soul. They got the mojo. Yeah. You don't have to work too hard. It's just stuff, you know.
Take it away, my man. Dan Fallon, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Pushed your hand in my hand, laid your gold hair in the sand. I saw tears pooling your eyes. Summer ends, you realize. Say don't cry, don't you cry, 'cause boys think love can't die. But soon I realized you knew much more than I. You knew I'd have to let you go. Oh, sweet lover. Oh, my dear. In the dark, you have no fear. You know the boy will fall apart before the beat of your heart gets near, and you share your neck, and you shared your very breath, and the sand from your clothes buried deep into my bones. To never let it go. Oh, sweet lover. There's a cheap motel in the place that once stood your little home. understood they'd both be gone. Would you have to let me go? In my memories, a girl who never grows. I love you, sweet, sweet, kind old soul. Oh, sweet lover.
Hey, all right. Woo! Live at Drew's House, Joppa Afternoon Drive. Dan Fallon in the house, little banjo that time. I like that.
There's another banjo song, but we'll hold off.
Okay,
That banjo can tune itself.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, the heat affects the banjo more than the guitars, though. You think?
Yes. Yeah. The banjo's kind of like flimsier,
more
at least
frail.
that one is. Yeah. I should probably. I've had that one forever, so.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've got a couple. Actually, I've broken 2 banjos too. I don't even know.
Not like Rockstar Break.
Yeah, no, just totally.
You ever seen somebody smash a banjo?
You know something? That's going.
That's on the bucket
put
list.
one of them back together and do that on stage.
There you go.
Honest, hell yeah.
Then nobody will ever be able to say nobody's ever smashed a banjo before.
I'm gonna give you credit, but I'm definitely gonna do that, like 100%.
That is hilarious.
I have 2 broken banjos, like right in my music room, that I'm like, because the necks just popped off. I think I got too into it and like bent it out or something. I don't really know. So.
Okay, also a great song title. 2 Broken Banjos.
You know something? Okay. Okay.
If you really want to give me credit, write a good song about that.
We could write it together if you want. You might have
It's a hit single, 2 Broken Banjos.
Sounds pretty good, so yeah.
You know, my cousin and I have a younger cousin, Patrick, he's like a little brother to me. He reminds me of me a lot. But I got like 10 years on him, and like we just have this like similar humor. Like, and it's what did he say one day? We're talking about like getting out of here during the winter because it's like the winter. We just hate the cold, and they're like, should we just live somewhere else? Like, why do we do this to ourselves? And I wouldn't want to do that. Just so you all know, I need the seasons, but we were complaining about the cold, and he was looking at Florida houses or somewhere not here that were so much cheaper. And he's like, look, Screened In Porch. And I go, pretty good band name. He goes, it's a great band name, Screened In Porch. And so we've been going around for like, it's probably been 2-3 years now of going around telling people, you ever see Screened In Porch?
Oh, really?
Yeah. And some people like, a lot of people like, a lot of you like, I think so. Yeah. I think I saw them that one time. Like, yeah, they were great when they opened.
That's awesome. You got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it.
Screened In Porch.
Sometimes, Drew, when I'm playing, I usually play covers, and the job's to keep people like happy and fun and everything. But every now and then, very lately, people have been requesting that song. I usually play it on the guitar because I don't want to mess around with it. But a lot of times I'll be like, oh, this next song is by Dan Fallon, and they'll just like, depending on how late it is, how much alcohol has been flowing around.
Yeah, it might not
like,
register.
Yeah. So they're like, awesome. Yeah. Any Dan Fallon fans here today? And they don't, they're like, because it's just
I've had people come in and say, I know some of my good friends that they like this mentality where they'll be the same deal. They'll play a lot of covers, but they'll, even if it's not like the best listening room, maybe even especially if it's not the best listening room, they'll play something big. They'll do they'll do the Springsteen, the Petty, or Mellencamp, something like that's a big song, sing along, recognizable, and then they'll take that and not introduce their own song and just go into one of their own.
Yes, that's the way to go.
And like he's like, and then it's great when you get like that same applause for that one, and then you say that was one of my originals. And then people are like, oh wow, all right.
That's a good way to go, actually. Yeah, like go from small town to maybe the first one of the day. I don't know.
You already got it picked out, right?
It's in there.
I was born in a small town.
Gotta let it go. That could work.
Yeah, he had a great quote today. Did you see his quote that's going around the internet? It'll probably pop up. It's one of those things that's like in my face a lot right now, which I don't know what my algorithms are, but Drew likes music. Show him the John Mellencamp quote.
Right, yeah.
But he said a guy came up to him at a show and said, there's no good music right there. The songwriting's not the same as it used to be. And I looked at him and said, whoa. This is John Mellencamp. I said, whoa, did you hear my new record? And the guy goes, I actually hadn't listened to the new record. No. Did you hear Bruce's new record? No. Did you hear Bob Dylan's new record? Did you hear Willie Nelson's new songs? And I go, and those are just the old guys.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm sorry, man, but you just got old.
Yeah.
There's plenty of stuff. You're just not listening.
Awesome.
You're just not listening.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He popped up in mine the same one over and over again, and I don't know. It's like a lesson, I guess I got to learn because it's true. and he was saying when he's not creating, he's a hypochondriac. Basically, he's kind of he makes stuff up.
I can see
on
that.
himself, you know, and I was like, wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
'Cause I've been performing a lot and writing a lot and really just like out there meeting people is like the biggest, most fun thing to do, you know, and I feel very like at ease in that environment, you know. And when, especially COVID, whoa, that was rough.
That was not good for me either.
That was not good.
Yeah, we tend to be sociable guys. I feel like just I don't know you too well, but it's kind of and it is funny to, I guess when you meet like introverts. Yeah. Which is like a lot of them really struggle with that. Like I've had a lot of people that say like, and I guess it's not a surprise doing this for a living, but like it's like you're so just natural talking to people. I wish I had that. I get anxiety because I don't have that. Yeah. And or I go into big groups and it's like, you know, I'm always fine or hopefully always fine, but it's like I get anxious about even just thinking about it. And I was like, I really don't have that. But I can understand where that would like suck.
Yeah, that would
you know?
Suck, man. Yeah, I didn't get that gene either, right?
Yeah.
You know, I got the opposite one. Like, oh, who's here? Let's go see who's around.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do?
Let's get in the mix.
Play. Yeah, it's like, it's interesting, but I've seen it. And even in playing with sometimes over the years with bandmates that have been introverted and stuff, and like they can be the best musician ever.
Yeah.
But they can even be like confused about why you're interacting so much with people.
Yeah.
You know, and like, what are you playing for the crowd for? You know, like, you know, because they're doing their own thing. It's kind of interesting.
It is.
Know, I respect it though. It's like it's got to be wild, you know, like that they can focus so intently on what they're actually doing, and it's interesting.
It's crazy to see it, like whether it's a band or like I've been in relationships where you get to see it up close for a while, and like I remember, you know, a relationship with a teacher, and like just could not stop practicing the thing for the day before, like the flashcards and like the PowerPoint or whatever, and it was just like go over it, and I look at her and I'm like, you got it, like what?
She's
like
got
you're good.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's and it was like, yeah, but if I don't feel like I have it 150%, like I'm not prepared. Yeah. And I'm like, I could never. Like, you know.
I wonder about that though too, like because. I've also seen the opposite, like where the over preparation, especially with music, you can. I mean, I definitely practice and I learn. I've got teachers, everything. Yeah. But it can really stifle it and make it stale and just oof.
No doubt.
Like, oh yeah, and then you're gonna play the same exact solo every time. You know, it's like, it's like one of those things. I'm like, no, we're gonna mix it up. And I'm the nightmare for people that don't like to adapt. It's the God's honest truth.
Really?
Because I like just the other night we had a gig, and we had like I've got like a lot of country Americana and all this stuff on my set. And it's very much in line with like what I write and stuff, and it's perfect, and it's for me. And it was a bachelorette party there, man. They're not. They wanted to like dance and stuff, so we like threw out all that and just did a whole bunch of dance material. Like literally threw the whole set out, like 100%.
It's a good adjustment.
Yeah, you know, and they were like, "Let's go." They knew something was. They're used to playing with me, so they knew it was going to happen. Yeah. But it was one of those things, and they kept everybody just because I want everybody to have a good time. It's really all. I don't care about anything else. I have nothing to prove.
Were you a Grateful Dead guy at all?
I just got into with the reggae band when I was playing with Patrick here before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I hadn't been really a Grateful Dead guy, but I actually was like the opposite. I was like, I don't know why people like the Grateful Dead. Then all of a sudden, Patrick, the guy that I played with before, got me. I was like, man, they just freestyle. It's amazing.
I think this is 2 shows in a row now where it's funny you just said you got led to it because I kind of did later in life too. And I'm not like a deadhead. There's a lot that I kind of get lost with and maybe I don't get, but I do like a lot of their songs and I completely respect the musicianship and like I think that it's pretty amazing in that regard. But I think you have to like get like steered there.
Yes.
You know, like it's not something I naturally stumbled upon. Like, you know, you hear it and I never fell in love with it that way. But, like it took people to be like, I went to a Dead & Company show at Fenway.
You did, you went to Dead, oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
but I was taken there. Like I told the guy straight up, I'm like, you know, I'm really not like a deadhead. Yeah. I would love to go. I don't want to be the guy taking up and taking if I'm not, you know. And I said, no, come on, you'll love it. It'll be great. And it was a great experience.
Yeah,
it really
you said it was an awesome show, right? So,
it was, yeah. And John Mayer, I think, as in the Jerry Garcia role, is from all the dead people you talked to, they've like completely. I guess there was a lot of skepticism at first, like, oh, really, John Mayer's going to try to fill these shoes. And like I think he's completely done it in like a respectful, great way.
With paying homage.
Yes,
like that.
Paying homage.
He's super talented.
That's the word you keep
really
hearing is he's really paid homage and respected the music, and so I don't know, it all comes together really nicely. It was a really cool show. I enjoyed it. I'm happy I could say I did it.
Yeah, that's cool too. I wish I did. Everybody was asking me to go, and but I don't know. I was like, I'd have to cancel. I had a gig, so I had to cancel. And I was like, I just never ever cancel ever.
Yeah, well, that's a good trait
if I can
too.
get a sub or something that's really like gonna do a good job, and then I'll maybe do it.
Think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it. But it's just then people, a lot of times people will plan on coming like in advance too. So I'm like right at the end, one of my buddies that lives in Newburyport too, actually. Yeah. He was like, "You have to go." I was like, "Oh man."
It was cool.
Like,
it kind of made me go. I do this a lot. You probably do too. When you see an artist and then that maybe you didn't know about, or and then you kind of like, wow, I think I kind of like that. Or I've done some more digging since, and I went back and was reading the thing that Jerry said about like, and this is a good band thing, I think. Like he's like, some of the best shows, like fans will say, were shows that I wasn't really feeling up there. Like it feels like, because they, they're trying to connect up there when going in all their different directions. And he's like, there would be nights where I felt like it was a struggle, and maybe we never even did connect, or it was a struggle to get there. And like our fans are so into us that they see that struggle, they see us working, and they kind of get off on that. Like they like it. They like seeing us work in that regard. So there have been nights where we're probably more technically polished and everything clicked and it was natural and just smooth. And that's when, a lot of the shows I really thought we were great, and maybe it wasn't as exciting for the crowd.
Right. Yeah. I think there's something about, I've really thought a lot about just this. Yeah. There's something about having to struggle to get it done musically that people just love so much. I just not everybody, but a lot of people do. And I was thinking about it,
which is different than like the loop struggle. It's different than like the technical thing. It's like it's a different kind of on stage thing. Yeah,
it's like this. It's this whole other multiple things going inside. Just not working, and then there are people like, oh, that was awesome. Okay. Great. Yeah. Or like just, I noticed even just with like singing and like singing something imperfectly, they're like, oh, that was beautiful. I'm like, right, okay, and you start thinking about it, like, wow, the singer that does Journey now has like this beautiful voice. The lead singer that goes on tour with them, I don't know his name, but he's got this beautiful voice, but the original singer had this amazing voice too, but it always sounds like he's pushing.
Steve Perry,
Joe
Perry's Aerosmith.
He always sounds like he's working. You know what I mean? And there's something cool about that.
There is.
Like hearing that they're working and seeing that they're working.
My favorite Springsteen DVD, I was all in. He's my guy, so I went all in on. I remember there was a time period where I was so in everything Bruce. I consumed everything. And my favorite Bruce to this day DVD is the Live in Barcelona. And he does a version, and this just tells you that people like mistakes. Because it's all, you could cut whatever you want when you release a DVD. He's playing Spirit in the Night, Spirit in the Night, all night. And just on him on piano. He decided to do it without the band. So it's solo piano. The Spanish people are singing with him. It's loud. And right at the end, you can see him. If you really look closely, you can see him 10 seconds before something crosses his head, like, I'm lost. He forgets the lyrics, or the screws up the lyrics. And he gets there, and he just stops, and he goes, huh, no. And he goes, wait a minute. That's it. And he goes, no, that's not it either. Wait a minute. No. And then he goes back to the previous verse just to get him going again. He does it, and he delivers, and the place goes crazy. And it's like awesome. A great concert moment. And I was like, no doubt they should have left that in. That's an awesome moment.
That's awesome. Yeah, like isn't that the coolest?
It's the coolest.
You know what's interesting with him, and like lately, my kind of finding myself again kind of thing. I was always there. I just tried different stuff. I was like, I don't know, but they was playing a lot of Bruce because he is all in, man. Like, oh my goodness gracious, all in 100%. You cannot when you play any of his material. It is a commitment, 100%. Yeah. In this, cause I like just like the homage, respect, reverence to the master. There's no way around it. it's over.
Yeah.
And it's like you gotta. So I learned like to watch out for like Born in the USA, for example, because it's so intense. Like it really is.
Yeah.
And just singing, like he's just, and then when you start to like internalize it and try to do a good job with it, you could lose your voice for like a week. You know what I mean?
It's amazing how people like still don't get that song after all these years. You hear it at the political rallies where
just talking about it. Yeah, I'm like, wait a second.
I mean, it's American in its own way, but it's not like, look at us, we're the greatest. It's
we got.
Look at us, we've had bad moments.
So, it is Rambo First Blood. You know what I mean? But but for real, like for real stuff. And I was just talking about that too because I had all these gigs. I was pretty much flat out for like the 4th of July week and everything.
Yeah.
And I love that because that's what I do is like this kind of stuff. And I was so lucky. I'm so lucky. But I played it every night actually. And people request it. So a lot of times people throw this request out and let's play it. And it was interesting because they're definitely talking to people about it. I was like, wow, people love the song so much, and they just love it for whatever reason. They love it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I imagine you didn't do the 12-string depressing version that Bruce did. And,
it was a little depressing.
A little bit,
but it was not 12. Well, no, man, that is the slaying.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He did that for a Madison Square Garden show when he came back after being away from the band for and I remember thinking like, I guess that's why another reason why I kind of fell in love with him was like this guy has so much to go to, but he says, "E Street Band, chill out for a second. I'm gonna go play Born in the USA this way to Madison Square Garden." Come on.
Did you hear that acoustic album that he had?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That was what killed me.
That's the stuff I'm into more than. I don't need to hear like Glory Days or Hungry Heart or a lot of that stuff.
Just like even the realness, like so it's very confronting, honestly. When, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you're writing, and you're thinking about stuff, and like. We all have something real to say. Yeah. And that's what he has.
Yeah, you can never doubt that with him, right?
You cannot doubt.
And people get on him because it's like, how can multi-millionaire, I don't even know what he's worth, hundreds of millions of dollars. How can that guy write about that stuff? I was like, well, I don't know. He lived it.
He lived it. Yeah.
It's like, it comes from somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he traveled across the country. And,
even just watching other people's stories, he said he learned met characters along the way. And I know that feeling.
Deeply empathetic guy too.
Metallica's Lars, I remember saying in an interview. He's like, so we went to go as a band. We went to go see Springsteen one night, and I'm not into his music. Like, I'm not a great fan. He's like, just not my thing. Like, I'm a little bit heavier, and I just never really got into it. But man, he believes it.
Yeah, that's
like he was like, I was all in the whole show. Like I couldn't take my eyes off him because he was in it, and that's all I'm looking for. So
there's something about it. Like, and then like in my set, like I've got that. I got a bunch of Johnny Cash too, like like the ones the early stuff, and I play it like my own kind of style, but just with Reverend and like the people that I've been playing that identify with just like everybody. Yeah. It's really changed the way I write music, and I don't sound like anybody else besides myself. But for me, it feels like a lot. It's just real.
Probably call that evolving, right?
Yes, definitely.
That's probably pretty natural, right?
Yeah. Cool. It's interesting. Yeah.
Well, speaking of, you and I have that tendency. We're good ramblers, so we can.
We are.
I want to make sure you love playing too, so I want to make sure I get to all your stuff. You got another one for us over there?
Yeah, I wrote another song last night. I wanted to.
This is a last night song.
Yeah, so the first one was a last night song, and this one is a last night song. But this one, I was thinking about for a little bit, so I'm gonna give it a shot.
All right, Dan Fallon, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
What happened to the girl from the autumn corn maze? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Play on. Want to give you the intro again? I'll give you the intro again. Sometimes this is a fun exercise. Dan Fallon, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
Thank you. What happened to the girl from the autumn corn maze? Cold October night sitting on bales of hay. Voice warmed me like a summer night. Smile lit up like summer light. We laughed so hard, the people around us thought we were crazy. Go slow, slower than you ever gone before. Go slow, make you want it much more. She had me eating from the palm of her hand. She had me realizing things I couldn't understand. Like if you talk too fast, the moment will up and leave and it's gone. And you can speak slow, and you can move slow, and you can dance slow, and you can love slow. Go slow, before that moment leaves you alone. Go slow, like you never did before. She said for her it was time to leave. Maybe I wasn't the type of boy she really needed. Someone told me she married a man from Orchard Beach and had a baby. I looked her up, I saw a picture, man, she looked happy. Go slow, and then it leaves you alone. Go slow, maybe she ain't yours, and she gonna be gone. Go slow, slower than you ever gone. Made it through.
Man.
Made it through, man.
So Dan Fallon, live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive. You warned me about that one, I think. Didn't tell me specifically, but you warned me.
Sorry about that.
No, you sounded great, man.
Yeah,
that was,
thank you very much,
a
yeah.
very nice song.
Yeah.
That one came out fully last night?
Yeah. I had the
Yeah.
inspiration sitting around for a minute. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I was like, I'll deal with that later. Let's
Gotcha.
deal with it today.
There you go. Well, thanks for bringing me along for it.
Sorry about that.
No, I tell people this can be therapy sometimes.
Yeah,
It's
you gotta
not the
get
first time that's come up in here.
Yeah, you gotta get off your chest sometimes.
You know who I'm going to do that with? Drew.
Yeah, might as well.
Thank you. I'm honored. Seriously,
yeah,
it's good. It sounded great. It's a nice song.
Thank you, man. Yeah.
It's well done. Sometimes sometimes those are when you can make those through. It's like, damn, that feels good to actually make it through that one.
Yeah. I feel like I accomplished something.
Accomplished something today. Now I need a nap.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. Good time, actually. One more time, I'm
Yeah.
going to shout out the crew again because they've been very busy here in July. Maeve Power editing, Lee Cusack, the tech director, Madeline Clement, Amelia Snyder, and Sarah Hayden, the boss.
Yeah.
Putting it all together here. I'm not sure if Sarah's even here at the moment. She's been running around, but she's out there somewhere. Sometimes she's actually listening, and she'll text me. She goes, "I love that," and so I'll always speak nicely about Sarah. No, just kidding. I have nothing bad to say about Sarah. She works incredibly hard here.
They're awesome here. They really are.
Yep.
Can I drop a couple gigs real quick?
Yes,
Or just
do
a couple
that. I was going to tell you that gigs and where to find you. I'd like to
Yes,
tell people
thank
too.
you.
Yep.
Dan Fallon on Spotify. You'll hear my depressing song. No.
Yeah.
And, Dan Fallon music, and then there's a couple of places I've got coming up. Deb's Landing in Tamworth.
Okay.
If for people that are up there vacationing, one of my all-time favorite venues. A lot of friends, a lot of people come out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to the Saddle Up Saloon in Kingston. Bobby, the owner, is just like brother from another mother. Has been booked out for a long time.
Oh, cool.
Band and solo, and it's just an awesome place. Axe throwing, mechanical bull, like I like to be associated with those things.
Yes, it's very New Hampshire.
That's very real. And it's just super fun.
Yeah.
This Sunday, I'm at another destination place like Tartaglia's Pizza in Campton, New Hampshire. It's another place you just wouldn't believe it, and they just have
Hampton. I thought I knew all the Hampton places. Oh, Campton.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I don't know that place.
Yeah, I accidentally called it Compton, New Hampshire, for a while until I realized it wasn't. And then I'm at the Beer Garden in Merrimack this month with the band.
Cool.
They're gonna have like a huge festival at the end of the month. And then next month we're going to be at the Hazy Stage at the Pavilion. Should be fun. But there's a bunch of please take a look. I'm very I'd love to see anybody come out and let me know that you heard the show or you
no
watched
doubt.
the video.
You're good with the social media and all that stuff. You're pretty interactive, so that's good.
Yeah.
The Pavilion Stage. He's talking about the New Hampshire. What is it? Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion.
Bank of Hampshire Pavilion.
But that's for big acts. That's one of my favorite venues. They just do there's not a bad seat in that place.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm at the side stage. When you walk in on the right, you'll see like a little And
I was going to say that's the coolest thing. They usually do shows before and after. With like local. I guess it's local mostly. I would guess. Or
exactly. Yeah.
And I think that's just such a great tradition thing. I've seen awesome bands there too.
There's been some really great ones. April Cushman, I saw her there for the first time.
Yeah.
April. I saw her. I think she might have done but I saw her for the first time there, and I was like, what is this? Like, I was like, can I play with you? She hears that a lot. So. And then people up in Laconia, I'm at, there's the Craft Beer Exchange. They've just booked me for a bunch of shows in Laconia and at... I'm at oh my goodness, Defiant Records actually this month too.
Cool.
That's a really fun place.
It's a lot of New Hampshire for you here through the summer,
which is very cool. Yeah. And then I'll be at the Hard Rock though at the end of the month too.
Okay, which Hard Rock?
Casino in Foxwoods. So it'll be really fun.
Oh, the Hard Rock.
So I'm kind of trying to get everybody where I can, So
New Hampshire's a good place in the summertime though.
So much
people
fun.
can come to you.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. It really is. But Drew, I really wanted to thank you for everything that you do, and I hope I'm gonna. A lot of people that may have seen you for the first time when I put it out there, they can take a look and see that you've probably helped 600-700 musicians over the years. Just I'm not even just talking about the show, all the other things that you've done, and you are definitely a brother of the arts, and it's just really awesome all the things that you did. This is huge.
Thank you.
I thank you very much.
It's very sweet of you to say, and I appreciate you coming in too, because I know you guys work different hours than most normal people. It's not always easy to come out when the sun's shining and all that, and do a show early in the day. So I appreciate you making the trek, and you sound great as always.
Thank you.
You ready to go after the last one? You can play us out with one. You got one more in you?
Ready to go. Yeah, I got one that I played before with Patrick, and I love it, so I'm gonna do it again on the way out. I
cool.
guess, yeah.
All right, Dan Fallon, he's been great as always. Go catch him playing a lot of New Hampshire this summer. Thanks to our great team, our small and mighty team here at the studios in Newburyport. My name is Drew Moholland. This has been live at Drew's house, Joppa Afternoon Drive.
I pour coffee in my cream and my sugar till I get it right. And I think about the good love you gave me tonight. I said I thank you for your time, thank you for your service. No doubt in my mind that I don't deserve it, but it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive. Yeah, it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive. Oh, where I'm going, I don't know, but I don't mind. 'Cause it feels so good, babe. Feels so good to be alive. Comes from the sun and your body when you share all your life. And strength comes from inside us when we know how to treat everybody just right. That's alright. Girl, I said I thank you for your time, thank you for your service. so fine. I don't deserve you, but it feels so good. Feels so good to be alive. Oh, it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive. Yeah, it feels so good. It feels so good to be alive. Where we're going, I don't know, baby, I don't mind. Said it feels so good, feels so good to be alive. We're here for the good and the bad and the fun and the fights. When it's all settled down in the night, baby, tell me everything you like. I said, thank you for your time, thank you for your